Hello YouTubers, welcome to World Cinema Reviews. This is Frank the Vamp, and tonight we got a very cool video prepared for you. We're gonna talk about The Walking Dead Season 3, and we're gonna jump right into it because Season 3 just gets better and better. This show is just unbelievably great. Here's the box art. Here, once again, this is the Latin American Spanish version. It's English with Spanish subtitles if you want to turn them on. I'm bilingual, so it's okay. For me, I prefer the original language, of course. So this is some of the box art, some of the DVDs. This is how they look. So I want to get on quickly with this video because we just got a lot to talk about. Well, this show just absolutely just more fantastic. Every time I watch the show, one season gets better than the next, and season 3 is the finest. I love the show. Can't understand haters of the show who will say it's getting worse. It's getting better. So far to season 3, I can tell you that this show is fantastic. It has my attention and it's so thrilling and great. But let's talk about why it is. We're going to talk about the plot right quick, and we're going to talk about some minor spoilers right off the bat, okay? There's going to be some spoilers, so if you haven't seen my video for the first and second season, please go watch it first. And if you haven't seen the show, watch it from season 1, please. For goodness sake, go on there and do that. Don't start from season 3. You won't understand so many things that are going on. It's better if you just start. So having said that, you be warned, there's going to be some spoilers. So what happens in season 3? Well, on season 2, at the end of season 2, unfortunately we got some losses. Notably, Shane completely went bananas and tried to kill Rick. Rick defended himself and killed him. And then afterwards, Shane reanimated as a zombie. That's very important, actually. Well, Rick finishes him off, but this actually, sets the trend that they finally understand that you don't need to be bitten to be infected. Everybody's infected. As soon as you die, you turn into a zombie, unless somebody puts a bullet through your head or destroys your brain somehow. But that's the so Shane is gone. One other big loss is towards the end of season 2. There's a big fight at the farm where a zombie horde attacks the group and they get separated, and most of them just barely escapes with their lives. And one person who, a little bit before that, who doesn't make it is Dale. Let me just say that Dale will be missed because he's the voice of reason, and I'll talk about a little bit about him in a minute. He's no longer there. There's no more cool heads prevailing. I'm not going to tell you how Dale died. You just got to see it on season 2. But let's talk about what happens. Andrea gets separated from the group, and why is it important that we talk about Andrea? Well, it's because that's where season 3 takes off. The winter comes. Oh, there's one more minor spoiler here. It's actually a big one. It's truly Laurie's pregnant. She doesn't quite sure know if it's Rick's baby or Shane's baby. And this is stressing the crap out of poor Rick, of course, and her, and the whole group. And it's tough enough that Rick has to deal with so many things, lead the group and fight the dead and and now fight the living too. But this is way too much for him, and this is gonna lead into very many things. Spoilers gone. We go to season 3, and on season 3 we see 2 stories now. We see the story of Rick, who has to survive the winter with a pregnant wife, trying to scavenge for food. The remaining survivors, they get better. They start to fight better. They're so good at fighting and killing zombies now. The walkers, they can easily dispose of them. They don't waste ammunition. They can do it by hand combat. They get quite nifty, and they're ready. They're great survivors, man. They're scavenging for food, but life is rough, so they're looking for a place so they can settle down, get some food, get some rest, medical attention, especially for Laurie, who's 8 months pregnant. So they find a prison, and a deal of the season is spent just cleaning the prison so that it's inhabitable for them, and that involves killing lots of walkers and lots of creepy, weird things happen so that Laurie can have her baby. Now, on the other hand, we see the other story where Andrea, at the end of season 2, gets rescued by this mysterious hooded character called Michonne, and Michonne and her wander off into this town, and they meet as a town of survivors led by a guy called the governor. So this is the two stories going on. That's where I'm gonna kind of stop the story, kind of stop the plot, so that you can figure it, so you can see it for yourself and enjoy season 3. But we're gonna talk about recurring characters, but we're gonna and let's there's a crap load of new characters now, tons of new introductions. The series is getting dynamic. There's no more Frank Darabont. He's already gone from the series. Fire, quit, whatever you want. There's a big controversy. You read it in the internet. I don't know. It happened somewhere in 2011. Now we get new blood, new writers, and you know what? It's not missing a beat to me. Some people might say, "Oh man, the series went downhill after Frank Darabont left." I don't see that. I think it's still an awesome show. Now, here comes the. There's two characters that I want to talk to you. The new characters. There's a whole bunch of them, but there's two new characters I want to talk to you. First of all, I'll talk to you about Michonne. Michonne is awesome. Michonne is played by the actress Danae Gurira from. I mean, I think she's from Africa, and she's really cool. This is half Kenyan or something like that, and she's freaking awesome, man. Cause she wields this giant katana, and she kicks ass. She's just so great. She just awesome, man. Every time, I mean, she's an obvious homage to Blade, which everybody who's seen my videos and sees my Ray Bans, they can really know that I love Blade, and so this is she's just like she doesn't talk very much, and what she does is like she just slices zombies' heads off, man. Stylish, awesome, and she's a hell of a fighter, and she's very righteous, and she loves the character oh man, what's her name? I always of Andrea. So and she rescues her, but she wanders into town, and they meet the governor. And the governor is the other awesome actor here, played by David Morrissey. And the government is actually, at first you think, oh, what a cool dude. He's got a town of survivors. He's kind of like Rick. No, man, he's nothing like Rick. He's kind of a tyrant and a crazy dude. And there's no spoilers here, because you kind of know something's off about him, but I'm not going to reveal the extent of his plans or what he plans to do with everybody, but the dude has some big skeletons in his closets. There's one little one, a tiny one. It's not. I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna give you more hints. And the dude doesn't watch TV, but he watches something in a fishbowl. on Fishbowls. I don't know how you call that. Fish tanks. Uh, enough said. There's something there preserved. And after you see that, then Andrea kind of gets fooled by him and kind of falls in love with this guy. But now Michonne knows something's up and something's fishy with this guy, and so now in the and basically the small thing, a small thing that I won't give away lots of the plot, but he kind of wants to, what can I say? He doesn't see the same thing as Rick does, and Rick has a huge difference of opinion, but they're gonna have a big fight, really. I mean, because they don't like each other, they don't think the same, and Rick is trying to protect him. And something happens now. Let's talk about the recurring characters. Rick, something's up with Rick. The pressure's getting to him. Um, there's a tragedy going to behold him. I'm not going to tell you what happens, but something really sad happens to Rick, and Rick kind of loses it, and he's already there's too much pressure going into him with the birth, with the upcoming birth of the son or daughter, and we're gonna leave it at that. But Rick is dealing with a lot of pressure, and being the leader is getting to be too much for him. Norman Reedus, man, Daryl, it's awesome, and he continues. He shows he still doesn't like to be that leader thing, but he's somebody you can rely on, somebody that's righteous. But this is where things get interesting, because one of my favorite characters, which is Michael Rooker. So Daryl's Daryl's racist brother Merle comes back, and he's working for the governor, doing his dirty work. And we know that Merle's bad news, but this is where we get the dilemma: is Daryl and Merle going to get along? What is stronger? Is the blood pact between them, or his loyalty to Rick? So this is where you're gonna see. Is Merle changed? Can Merle stop being his usual a-hole racist crap that he's always is, or is he worse? Is there any redemption characteristic about this character? Um, One thing to just point out is the Stephen Yeun, Glenn, and a new character and the new character introduced in the second season, Laurie Cohen, who's Maggie, and Maggie is in love with Glenn, and they're blossoming as a couple. Um, that goes on, and there's so many subplots that I just don't want to spoil. But what is better in season 3? Right quick, just to tell you, special effects are more awesome. You can see how the series is putting more money into them. Suspense is just as great. The plot is thickening. Um, I love the idea of the prison. I love the idea of the governor. I love the idea of him and Rick not getting along, and the outcome of their how they resolve their problems. One last thing to say is that there's no more Dale, and there's no more heads, soft head rebels. So Rick doesn't have that support, and I feel for Rick in this season. I feel for many of the characters, man, who endure great losses. So that's where I'm gonna leave it. Um, Best thing, is these two new characters are so awesome. I love them both. I love all the choices that have been made for. I love the characters that have been gone. They did their best. The story is just perfectly fitting like a glove. Watch season 3, man. Season 3 is just awesome. It's, what can I say? The Frank the Vamp, man, is just, I'm looking to get season 4 soon, so that I can review it for you guys. God bless. enjoy my video. Take care.